All right, ready?
Yeah. I'm Corey Eubanks. It is now 2025, and we are back with Stunt Stories. What is this? I think, was this, Skylar, the third season?
Season 3, episode 3.
Season 3, episode 3, a brand new start for me on season 3, episode 3, here in Stephenville, Texas. Skylar, I'm so stoked to have you as my producer of doing Stunt Stories. This is going to be already a lot of fun, and you diving back into these films and TV shows I've worked on, uh, a long time ago, 40 years ago, some of them.
I wasn't even alive yet.
Makes me feel old. But thank you again for doing this. This is a lot of fun.
Of course, man. Of course. Yeah, when I came that one time to drop off those units and we talked or whatever, if you didn't come out and like point and be like, "Oh, they go over here," then we talk for that minute, none of this would probably be happening right now.
Yeah, I think that's just the way God wanted it to work out. He wanted you and I to meet,
Yep.
launch this again.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that was cool because when I came out there and I saw the vehicles, I was like, well, I want to drive that one. I want to drive that one.
Explain what do you mean those vehicles?
Well, all 300 of the vehicles you
Yeah.
have out there.
I know.
Like the Baybuster, and then there was that one that you said was like $35,000 or something like that, and you were like, but it's on the right side, it's right hand drive.
Oh yeah, it's worth more than that. Now, my friend Joey Freitas, who has been the picture car captain for all of the Transformers movies, and he's Michael Bay's right hand man. I mean, whenever they do any movies with cars and stuff, it's Joey. Well, now he's doing Taylor Sheridan's shows as well. Landman and Lioness, and so Joey's got all of these military vehicles, and that they use on the shows. And yeah, he was in need of having a place to store them until they start shooting again, which I think is like March maybe of this year. And I'm like, yeah, I've got a place because he was going to have to haul them all the way from Texas back to California.
Right.
And that's
And then come back.
yeah, and that's not cheap. And then come right back where you were. And I'm like, well, you could just leave them here, Joey. But wait, what was the question you just asked me? You were we were talking about the Baybuster, and then there was a
the car that's worth like a lot of money.
yeah. The military vehicles. There's this one. It's really cute. My daughters immediately, zeroed out. Dad, we want to drive that one, and it's a right-hand steer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess when those things are in mint condition, they're worth $250,000.
Holy
Yeah, not like 30,000. Well, then again, I go, I said, well, the value of something is what someone will pay for it, right?
True.
I mean, we could take a glass of water, and under the right conditions, that could be worth 250,000. I mean,
Yeah, my dad's one of those Mexicans that'll sell you a bucket of water for $200, and you'll be like, wait, how did I do that?
yeah. Well, you were on fire at the moment,
Yeah.
and you needed the bucket of water.
You looked a little thirsty.
Yeah.
Oh, but when you gonna let me drive one of those vehicles out there, like not the Baybuster, but what was the one that sits next to it?
Oh, no, that one, yeah, Joey's that sandrail, that buggy.
That buggy looking one, yeah.
Yeah, I think calling it a sandrail is actually being disrespectful to the type of vehicle it is. And what is it missing other than the seat? I'd have to ask Joey about that.
Don't need a seat.
Yeah, we'll put some apple boxes in there or something. You'd be fine.
We got some wood chairs right there. We
Yeah.
can put in there.
Those will be perfect. Get some duct tape and some wire. You'd be shocked at some of the picture vehicles you see on films and TV shows, how horrific they really are. Cosmetically, they look great. They look brand new, but they're pieces of shit. Unbelievable. Broken engine mounts, seats that are broken. It's unbelievable because the
Yeah.
producers are sometimes so cheap.
Last week when we were talking about like the General Lees and stuff, and David was talking about that one that like slammed in the frame, like, or the whole body touched the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I found that video.
There's quite a few of those.
Yeah.
They're
And it's funny because it's like the shot, you see him, and I mean, he hits, and you see the stunt double with the helmet on, and then it switches over to them just all like,
Yeah.
and they keep cruising, and I'm
like they drove off a curb or something.
yeah, like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Speaking of driving off a curb, you want to watch this little video of Al White Jr. jumping off a curb?
Yeah.
General Lee.
Al Wyatt Jr., man, people are just oblivious to how talented that man was. No one drove that General Lee like Alan. So graceful.
Just smooth.
Fluid. Never raced cars. Never. He was a baseball player, semi-pro. But for some reason he could.
Bam.
There he goes. Yeah. Right off. Yeah, that was like a big. That was like 18 inches or something. That was pretty big. Was he gonna come and throw a 90 in front of him? Yeah. Look at that. Just. I mean, come on.
Dude,
There's not a lot of guys that could do that on that gravel, and that's like driving on ball bearings. And just a perfect 90 in front of that truck.
Yeah, and then like we're just coming into it. His wheels are already pointed left.
Yeah. And just bam, nails it. And had to do it right where the camera is. So the ass end of the car ended up right where the camera was. Not, you can't just.
Yeah, you have to line it up just right.
Yeah, you can't just, I'm just going to throw a 90 here somewhere. Wherever I stop, I stop. No, it's got to be right there for camera. And the second unit director, Paul Baxley, was very, very stern, very intimidating man, and would get very angry very quick for really no reason at all.
Sounds like every one of my bosses.
Yeah, just, I mean, and if you can't come in here on the rehearsal and nail it right on the mark, right on the bullseye, we'll get somebody who can, But Alan always did.
Yeah.
Just
in flip-flops.
In flip-flops and shorts. Yeah. Just an incredible man. He had a great sense of humor. I think I mentioned it once before. So many people have been influenced and their careers because of Al Wyatt Jr. in drifting, in the drifting world. Me in the stunt world.
Right.
Like I said, I was so blessed to be sitting as his passenger and pick up that feel of the speed of the acceleration and when he would hit the emergency brake and when he'd be on all fours and when he'd get on the accelerator and just that whole pitching of the wheel. And he always held the steering wheel in his fingertips because there was a lot of play in the steering wheel on the General Lee.
Mm-hmm.
You could move it like maybe 3 or 4 inches and the tires haven't moved at all. Yeah, you're just like, there's so much slop in the wheel that you just don't have.
That's how my truck is now.
Is it? So you'd be used to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah, you'd be fine. You'd do good.
Oh yeah, like I said, back in the days when we'd go back roading and stuff, I was in trucks, getting sideways and stuff, but I had a beer in my hand, so
you're driving with one hand.
Yeah, so I got so used to driving like that, but
and there's something to be said for that with the driving on those dirt roads. It really, it's very symbolic to driving on wet asphalt. It's the same, it's so much you learn with the vehicle. It's about the momentum of where the vehicle's going,
mm-hmm.
not where you turn the wheel.
Yep.
Because there's some spots you could go, hey, I'm going in this turn, 60, 70 miles an hour. I'm going to turn my wheel. I'm going to make a right. No, you're not. You're going straight.
Going straight. Your wheels might turn right.
Yeah.
But you're still going straight.
Your wheels have good intention of going that way, but you're not. You're going to go straight into the tree or into the ditch.
There was this one turn I'd always hit, and like it was a Chevy 2500 HD long bed extended cab. So I mean it was pretty long. Yeah, it was long, but I mean I used to get that thing sideways, and this one chick I was trying to hook up with, I was like, yeah, let's go back road, and I'm like, yeah, I hit this turn all the time. Right in the ditch.
Yeah.
She's like, does that happen all the time? I was like,
every single time.
Only when there's a pretty girl in the car.
Yeah.
Threw it in reverse, backed up, and took off.
Good times. Good times.
Here's another good times for you. We saw your version or your point of view on this one, but here's Al Wyatt's version or point of view.
There's nobody on the face of the earth
who's that guy?
has driven the General
I don't know.
more than Al Wyatt Jr., who I learned from. And here's Alan.
This is at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend for more than 20 years.
This is where he jumped the truck.
No, let's talk about you.
Enough about me.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
I think you're incredibly handsome.
Thank you.
Good-looking man.
Thank you.
Yes, Alan, actually, that's the truth. You don't mind me bragging about you, do you?
No.
Nobody has ever driven the General Lee more than Alan. I'm a distant second, but I did learn from this
Because you're
man.
young. You're
Alan,
young.
practice your quiet skills just for a
Okay.
second.
Nice seeing you, and I'll watch you from the sidelines.
And-
wait. And the longest jump ever in the history of the Dukes of Hazzard, this man right here holds the world record.
Thank you.
And he's camera shy.
We thought we'd give this a try. So I
There's
asked
Tommy
him if he would
Cimino.
turn over Jesse pickup. So he agreed to it. He loved it. So what we did is we had a lot of room in there for him. So he was nice and straight up. I think we had him in there.
Because
with
Alan's
pretty
6'3".
comfortable.
Yeah.
He's,
Was 6'3".
Alan's 6'2". He's another.
He's 6'3". He's not 6'2", Tommy.
Come on, Tommy.
Look at, he can't even fit in there. Now,
He's got a metal knee. And
yeah, he's got some
Little bit of
plates.
problem getting him in there. You know, we're not as agile as we used to. He's a little stiff. Once we got him bent around a little bit and got him in there, I think he felt really comfortable.
If I recall, they added another pipe.
Bend my knee enough.
They added another crossbar or something, if I remember.
Yeah.
Because I think this was back in 04, was it? Or 05?
I think it's 05.
05?
You gotta turn one left and then turn the other right.
Yeah, right here.
He'll be fine once he gets.
They're just gonna read one more bar.
And there's Russell Solberg. He was John Schneider's full figure.
Maybe if he does a hard rollover and lands.
Seems like all the stunt people you were around were over 6 foot.
Huge. Yeah. Just giant men, except for me. Yeah, they did. That's right. I remember they added another pipe in there.
And that's cool that he like saw that and was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't think that's it. Let's add another one. I'm not comfortable with that. Like that's
We have flip-flops. There he is. Those are his steel-toed boots.
literally steel toes.
Yeah. Oh, I miss that man. He got ordained as a minister so he could marry my wife and I.
That's awesome. David's ordained. He's gonna marry me and
Yeah.
Christine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Don't want to do anything. You're right. You're stiff and sore right now. So
Smoking his cigs. Yeah, he smoked all the time.
There's one part. I guess it was his wife or something.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't want to smoke on camera, do you? And she walks up and he goes, I'll just roll you another or a funny one or something.
That's right. That's Susan. That's his wife.
so glad this is you and not me.
He looks like one of my buddies.
Thank you, Corey.
Susan didn't want to hear that.
This part. You changed shirts like 4 times.
Did I? I was sweating a lot. He can't get him in there.
You ready to put the helmet on? Yeah. Okay, that means you're ready to go.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
Amazing.
Bam,
And then
bam, bam. Nice.
a lot of people out there.
And I really think what you'll see in this thing that he
Yeah, there was like 35,000 people there at this one.
It's on both sides. That's a lot of people.
You know, I think that's the only time the Jesse pickup truck ever got flipped. Because in any of the episodes, I don't think it ever did.
I don't from the episodes I remember seeing. I don't ever remember seeing it.
No.
Rolled over again up on your wheels.
Oh, good. Oh, I want to get on my wheels.
Just like the old days.
Just like the old
He
days.
hasn't lost anything.
And, so
God,
this
I
we
miss that
definitely knew
guy.
this was gonna be out
He was so much
last
fun.
turnover.
I think this episode might be like a Al Wyatt remembrance video.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool because I got a couple of videos.
I got a little lower back thing going on.
There's that, and then
Wow.
see if you recognize everybody on here.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching. There's Paul Baxley with his sunglasses off
You look better than any of them.
and his hat.
But you're all in shape. You look just about like when I first met you. You're a little fatter there.
Henry Kinsey.
You did some of the most thrilling stuff. I've never got the shot where this one flies over the train while the train is moving in his car, and he went out of sight and followed that over his slingshot.
He kind of looked like he was trying to remember. He's like, did I?
Yeah. It's like, what?
Started going
Who did that?
further And further and further, bigger rams.
There's Gary Baxley,
Nitrous.
his nephew.
Let's talk about the jump that stopped.
The what?
Oh, into a tree. Weren't we supposed to land a car into a tree?
That would be Henry Kinsey jumping. And he was married to Lindsay Wagner. Remember the actress Lindsay Wagner?
Sounds familiar.
The singer.
There's Henry.
Mickey Gilly was out there.
And then he went off when they started the A team.
And I said,
Even with his ponytail and his long hair, he was Mr. T's stunt double. They'd put a skull cap on him.
And they covered up all that hair.
He would tuck it down his shirt. Yeah, never cut his hair. Never.
I'm with him. I'm with him.
Now Henry had a certain way of driving that I was just so envious of. He would do these 4-way drifts coming into a scene, into a shot, into a camera. He'd go and talk to the camera operator. Hey, what lens you got on here? And he'd tell, I got a 75 millimeter. Oh, okay. Hey, what's your right frame line? Well, it's that telephone pole over there. Okay, thanks. Henry would get back and come in so fast that by the time he got to that telephone pole, he'd already pitched the car sideways and come into the shot already crossed up sideways. Whoa, and take off.
Oh, that's so
And I'm like, I want to be able to do that. Because Alan had his own style, which
Right.
was the general lead, and always try to show the door, show him the 01, you know. And Henry had his own style, which is coming in just sideways, just like, and really you think about it's like you're in a chase, and oh my God, I want to make a right hand turn, and I was going so fast because I thought I was going to go straight. So at the last second, I'm going to make that turn, and will I make it? You know, it's not the same style as drifting, where you know you're setting the car up to make it around that pretty turn to do a power slide around the corner. It was a last second decision kind of slide. It gave you that illusion of that. Oh shit, I want to make this turn, and I'm going too fast, you know.
right.
And it looked so freaking cool. And what I did to try to copy that was I would run my front tires at like 65 psi, and have my rear tires at like 35 or 40. So I had less of a pad on the asphalt on my front tires because they were harder.
Right.
So, because that's where all the weight is in the engine, the transmission, you know, 80% of the car's weight's on the front tires. So that would enable me to get that 4-way drift. You know, I don't know if Henry did that or not, but that's what I ended up doing through experimentation, renting cars. We used to rent rental cars all the time, every weekend.
Just go out. And,
Oh yeah. Like 6 of us on the phone. We're all meet. Hey, yeah, okay, we're going to meet that parking lot, or found this housing complex where they were building houses, and then they lost the financing, but they'd already put the roads in. So we had all these intersections and stuff. And like, you show up with a minivan and I show up with a, you know, whatever, a little pickup truck. And I'd practice for like an hour or a half hour, and then we'd swap cars. So by the end of the day, you were in 6 or 7 different vehicles. That is what is so important about stunt driving, is not knowing how to drive that one car.
Yeah.
Now, the Dukes of Hazzard was different. We had that same car every day. The majority of the time, you're in a different car, and it's a front wheel drive, it's an all wheel drive, it's a rear wheel drive, it's, you know, it's a different vehicle. So knowing how to drive many, many different cars was really imperative.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I just drove trucks, getting sideways and on the dirt road and stuff. You know, I never really got in cars because I had it was a 99 Mustang, but it had like a 01 motor and transmission, and it was standard. So I was like getting sideways, doing all this crazy stuff, and I was like, yeah, I got to get rid of this thing. I'm gonna either end up dead or getting taken to jail.
Yeah, you're gonna get arrested. Eventually, you're gonna run out of gas.
That too.
They're gonna catch you.
Yeah, I was like 16, 17. So
The good days, the good times. Yeah, but gosh, Al Wyatt Jr., man, I miss that man. He
got a great set of hair.
Yeah, he did. He was it lived in Malibu, and he could surf. Everybody loved him. He one night just wasn't feeling well, and kept tossing and turning, and he didn't want to wake Susan, so he just went up and went out in the living room and sat on the couch. That was it. Just died sitting there on the couch.
Damn.
Yeah. So
But there was like nothing wrong with him. He was just.
I think it's because he was too tall. He had a bad ticker. He had.
He's looking down at you like, really, Corey?
Yeah, really. Sorry, Alan.
Alive and dead.
Yeah.
Looking down on you like, dang it.
Yeah.
Tall man.
I'm sure. I think am I looking in the right direction? Is Alan? Yeah. Yeah. Everybody loved him. He was just, and never braggadocious, never talked about himself. You saw when I had him on that interview there.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, Alan. I got to talk about you. No.
He's like, nah, you're the camera guy. I'll just go.
Yeah.
over here.
I'll be over here smoking my cigarette.
Yeah.
That's why he died.
Yeah, he wasn't smoking them funny cigarettes. He was smoking the other cigarettes.
He smoked them funny cigarettes all the time.
Getting sideways and flipping vehicles. I probably would too.
We did a car chase together on a film called Get Carter. I was doubling Stallone. We're up in Seattle. And Spiro Rosados was the second unit director. And in this shot, I had to come in off the side street and pitch this Cadillac sideways. And coming down the hill, they put some mini ramp jumps. And here comes Alan. He's supposed to jump. As I come into the intersection, he's supposed to jump and land behind me. Well, as I came through, no rehearsal. It's a timing thing.
What was the movie?
Get Carter.
Get Carter.
And when I came in through the intersection and slid the car sideways, Alan came down so fast, jumped, and landed on top of me. Now, the bummer of this was I wasn't hurt, and it was spectacular. And so I kind of did a little wiggle thing with the car, like, get off my back, you know, and finally he did. He came off my car. Oh, and then he crashed into a telephone pole. But it was a free stunt, right? It wasn't scripted. It's just something that happened.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing is, for those who I'm sure they know, they don't always shoot things in continuity. It's not like from the first scene to the second to third. They had already shot Stallone arriving at this other location, and the car was not damaged. So even though we had this spectacular shot and it looked great for the camera and all that stuff, they couldn't use it.
Right.
Because the car wasn't damaged.
I remember you talking about something like that, how like you'll go and do a stunt, but they haven't even recorded the part for it yet. So it's like, they're like, can you somehow flip it up? And you're like, that's not how that works, dude. Let me put my hand out and push the ground while I'm at it.
So many times the directors want to shoot the aftermath first.
Yeah.
Oh, we have this actor until, noon, and we got to get rid of him or her or whatever. Can we shoot the crash? I mean, the aftermath where we pull them out or see that they're alive, and we need to do that now while the lighting's good. But yeah, take your chances. But 90% of the time, it's not going to end up like that.
Yeah.
The vehicle is going to be facing the other direction. It's not going to be on its rooftop so. I just experienced that on a show. I was just back in Albuquerque. The Cleaning Lady is what it's called. And they did the same thing. They wanted to shoot the aftermath. I'm like, okay. So there's a reason it's called the aftermath.
Right.
It happens after the stunt.
Trying to see if I could maybe find
Get Carter. I got nominated for a stunt award on this, but we didn't win on that Get Carter.
That's one thing we should maybe try to like push too, is like, I know how you were talking about how a lot of the stunt men and women, they don't get recognized for a lot of the stuff. Like usually like in the Emmys and stuff, whenever they get an award for something, they'll put the video up and it's.
Well, they are now for Emmys.
Okay.
It's the Oscars.
Oscars. Okay.
The Oscars. There's no category for stunts. They don't think that it's an art. And what we do in creating the illusion of danger, of death-defying things, if that's not an art, I don't know what is. And we work with every capacity on a film crew, from the costume designers to the cameramen to the grip department, to the special effects to the picture car guys. We work with everybody to create the illusion of something that was, so freaking dangerous that it killed somebody. And also we do it over and over and over. A lot of times you do the same stunt over and over and over again. I don't know what it is. We've never been even recognized by the Oscars. And personally, I'm okay with it. It's just like, what other occupations are there that everybody gets together and they praise one another and say, here, you get an award because you were so good at what you did.
Here, thanks for being good looking in this scene. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
That's art?
Yeah.
That's art, but me flipping this truck and explosion behind me. And
and the other thing is, I did a movie called Midnight Run, and I was doubling Robert De Niro. We were in Chicago. And I watched him and Charles Grodin did a shot within the scene. And it was 17 takes. 17 times they did. Getting directed, do it this way, do it better. We don't get 17 takes to do shit. It's like we get one, maybe two. You might get 2 takes at it. On a rare occasion, you might get 3 because they just can't afford it. So, but I'm like, wow, you're sure giving him a lot of credit when he is saying the words that somebody else wrote, pretending to be someone that he's not, being directed on how to do it properly, and getting as many takes as you want to get it right. I'm like, okay, yeah, give him an Oscar, give him a trophy for that.
it's like the basketball team, they got 6th place, but they still got a trophy, and it's like, what?
Yeah, that's not the world that I grew up in.
Mm-mm.
We have winners and we have losers.
Oh no, he said the L word.
I did, yeah. Oh, I've been a loser many times.
Yeah.
Many times. I have been a loser so many times. I'm actually very comfortable with it. And what that has done, and I'm talking about in the stunt industry, you know, it's funny because I mentioned that to somebody once, and it's okay once you realize that when you screw up, it maybe cost the production hundreds of thousands of dollars because you didn't do the stunt that's never been done and you didn't get to rehearse it, but you screwed it up and it didn't turn out the way they wanted. You're like, it kind of sucks to be me right now. Oh, wait, I'm over it. I'm okay.
Thanks for my check.
Yeah.
Later.
Still get paid.
Yeah.
But what it's done is when you realize that screwing up that many times, it's not the end of the world. You know, here's the funny thing. After you get so established throughout your career, you know, I've been doing it for 4 decades. Yeah, I've been nominated 10 times. I've won the Red Bull's Taurus World Stunt Award 3 times. Oh, hey, get Corey Eubanks. Well, to do that, it's so difficult. We got to get Corey. Now, if I go in there and I screw up because my timing was off or my athleticism that day was off, whatever. I just made a mistake because we're humans. We all make mistakes.
Right.
If I make a mistake, 9 out of 10 times, it will be, see, it was so difficult that even Corey Eubanks couldn't do it on his first take. Now, here's the flip of the coin. If some young kid came who has twice my athleticism, he could do a standing backflip. He's a phenomenal athlete, and he goes and does it, and he screws up. See, the guy had no experience. We should have had Corey do it. So it's a win-win for me, and also a lose-lose for the other guy because even if he does pull it off, oh well, he got lucky.
Yeah, that's just luck.
That was luck. You know, it's funny. It's crazy. Also, I remember one time I said to a director I'd screwed up on something and I wasn't bothered by it. He said, "You seem to be okay with this." I'm like, "I screw up all the time. I'm used to it." I go, "Well, I don't know how does that affect your career?" That's what he said. I go, "I don't know." He asked like Michael Jordan, you know, I go, "He'd miss like 70% of the time." "Oh, are you saying that you're Michael Jordan?" I go, am I saying I'm a 6'5" black man? No.
Very far from it.
Yeah, who plays basketball? No, I'm just using that as an analogy, you know.
Yeah, you are the Michael Jordan of stunts.
I miss more than I make. I screw up more than I succeed.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, okay. No, there was a picture I told you I found the other day, but I didn't pop back up on here. But let me see if I can find it real quick.
See, this is fun for me because I never know what to expect, and that's what I love about this stuff. What are you going to pull up?
You're going to love this one. Let me.
Is it me as oh my God. Wow.
Look at that outfit.
Jeez. Look at the blonde hair. You want to know the story behind that? Or did I already tell you?
When you came on H&D, you told us.
Yeah.
They were like, he's like, make your hair blonde or
Yeah.
whatever. Then you came back and he's
Dye
like,
your hair blonde.
Oh, Corey.
He goes, we got a freaking wig for that. I'm like, okay. Now, I was rodeoing at the time, too. I had to go to different rodeos. I was riding bareback horses and show up, and Bob Tallman, the announcer, would make fun of me. We got the blonde bomber coming out of chute number 4. I'm like, yeah, that was. Now, that photo there with the blonde hair, the blonde guy, that was my very first General Lee jump. That was my jump. And I learned that day that on the set, nobody applauded. There was no applause. There was no, hey, good job. It was on to the next set, next shot, just on to the next shot. I'm like, wow. Then I'd go and work on other shows, and some guys would do a stunt. And I mean, they would high five each other and big hugs and celebrate on, like they made a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And I'm like, that wasn't how I was brought up in the industry.
Like, you suck.
You just do your job and you do the best thing ever. It's like, yeah, great. Was it good for a camera? Good. Let's move on. Do another shot over here.
Good job. I figured that out when I was doing construction, and every time I painted a room, they didn't say, "Oh, congratulations."
Yeah.
They're like, "Cool. Go to the next room."
Yeah. What took you so long?
Yeah. Hurry up. You said you were Mexican.
You could paint anything. Yeah. Oh, wow. And the other one is on the right there, the guy looking all tough. That's in Hong Kong on the last day of shooting Transformers 5. And that's the Bumblebee.
I was just about to pull this one up.
And that's Mark Wahlberg and Michael Bay. I got to tell you something. Michael Bay, guy on the left, I've never had more fun working on a feature film than with that man.
Yeah.
And I've worked with a lot of directors: Tony Scott, John Woo, Ron Howard, Ang Lee, Steven Soderbergh. I'm forgetting a bunch of them. A whole bunch of really, really talented directors. When it comes to action, shooting action, there's no one who comes close to Michael Bay, and his intensity and he is so what's the word I'm looking for? You're so enthusiastic and so passionate. He's passionate about filmmaking and trying new stuff and pushing the envelope. And a lot of guys can't handle the pressure because he puts the pressure on you. It'd be like playing in the Super Bowl. That's the expectation every day with him. And you don't know what you're doing. You show up one morning and you're having a breakfast burrito waiting for the sun to come in because we're getting ready to film. And he's like, okay, we're going to do 3 cannon rolls coming down this was in Transformers 3 or 4. We were in Phoenix, Arizona. And it was 118 degrees out. And like, we're going to do 3 cannon rolls coming down. You have Corey and these guys there. Go, let's go. And then you're trying to finish your breakfast burrito. You didn't know what you're going to do that day. And now you know that, okay, we're going to be doing a 75 mile an hour cannon roll down the freeway here because Michael just had that idea, and it's just super cool. It's been so much fun.
What's that? Can you elaborate more on the like cruising 60, 70 miles plus and then just turning? What's that feeling of just?
What you talking about on a cannon roll?
Cannon roll, yeah. How's your adrenaline? Like, can you control your adrenaline, or does it just hit and you're just like, let's go?
This might sound weird. I don't anymore so much get an adrenaline rush from doing vehicular stunts, which is kind of could be a bad thing because I think that you're more spot on. Your reflexes are more giving it. Here's the most recent last year in 24 on Lone Star 911, which was funny because that's supposed to be in Texas. And I live in Texas.
Yeah.
And I had to fly to Long Beach, California to do a show about Texas. And I had to cannon roll this armored truck. And we had a 10-inch ID cannon. And we had 1,000 PSI nitrogen. Because the vehicle weighed 25,000 pounds when they put the roll cage in it and everything.
Right.
Jimmy Lorimer, who's the special effectsman, was the one who, once he installs the cage and the cannon and everything, they lift that sucker up on a scale. The scales that pull. You could see it. And he said, yeah, just over 25,000. Then he gets the idea of how much pressure to use. So the analogy I tell people, it'd be like if you took a revolver, like a Smith & Wesson 357, and put the barrel at the asphalt and pulled the trigger. The bullet's going to go and hit the asphalt, and then the gun's going to go, whee! Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it literally happens that quick. The punch of the pole, the steel pole, that on that one, I think it was a 5-foot throw, is 5 foot long. When I did the cannon roll on the bus on Fast 5, that was 7 foot long. But the pole, when it hits, it's so hard to explain what that feels like because it's so violent and it so snaps. And if it's on your passenger side and the vehicle's spinning clockwise, it wants to throw you to the inside of the vehicle, and it tweaks your back a little bit. Even though I'm in a full containment stunt seat,
you're still gonna move
a little bit.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of wiggle. So I did that, and it flipped 3 3/4 times, I think. And it felt, there's no forgiveness to it because it's a steel box. It's not a car that crushes in. And a lot of times we'll bring the roll cages in 5 to 6 inches from the rooftop so the metal will crush in. And it's a lot more forgiving on you. This one wasn't. And it hurt. I wasn't, and I like to, think, yeah, I'm a tough guy. It hurt bad. The peg of the meter went ting to the top. And so my buddies are getting me out. There was Tim Rigby and there was Brian McLight and Clay Collin, these guys who know what they've been in that seat before. They know, okay, Corey's in pain. So they get me out, and I had to bring a ladder and come down the ladder because vehicle was on its side, and I come down. Well, the producers sent in the EMT, the medics, to come in and check me out. And it's funny because they don't see this all the time. I've been doing this for 43 years now, and it's the norm for me. And they went and the producers, I go, guys, I'm good. Look at me. I could tell you, I know what day it is. I know what time it is. I know my name. I could spell it backwards. All the things you guys want to ask me. I follow your finger. I'm good.
Right.
Yeah, well, the producers want us to check you out because that was a pretty bad one. I go, not really. No, it wasn't that, I'm fine, but okay. So I sit down in the back of they open up the doors in the back of the armored truck, and I sit down. And he takes my blood pressure. Blood pressure's a little bit high. I go, you think so? I just flipped over a freaking 25,000 pound armored truck 3.75 times at 55 miles an hour. Maybe your heartbeat might be up just a little bit high too.
Yeah.
And by the way, I already have high blood pressure, so I think we're good.
Yeah, you're like, I'm a stunt man.
Yeah. But when I get in that vehicle in those situations, I've done it so many times. I'm really very calm. I think there was one time we were on a show and Michael Bay put these 360 cameras inside because he thought he was going to capture something on the stunt guys. And before he goes, yeah, it's so boring watching. You were just like looking out the window, like you're wondering what day it was. You're
sitting there like,
just bored, just waiting for them to say roll cameras and action.
Action, Corey, action.
Yeah, because you're going to your mark. I go, gosh, what's caterer going to have for lunch today? Yeah.
Spaced out. You're just like, do.
Yeah.
I think I've got a couple more pictures. Our recent episode when you were talking about this phone.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Remember those?
Yeah.
And they got all hot. You'd be talking on that phone for so long, your face would start to sweat.
I never used it, but my grandpa out in Morgan Mill, there was this lady that he would kind of go and do work for and stuff, and she had one of those. I would like be playing with it like a kid because I thought it was like a toy phone. I'm like, oh yeah,
this can't be real.
I'm calling people, and I'm like, well, this Pizza Hut. I'm like, what?
First time I ever saw a cell phone. Do you remember the show Chips? Larry Wilcox and Eric Estrada.
Mm-hmm.
They made a movie about it. Dax Shepard was in it.
Yeah, and Michael Pena.
Yeah, but the TV show Chips.
Chips, yeah. Where they're cops on motorcycles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Not Chippendale.
Not Chippendale. But the stories were very similar.
Yeah.
The story plots. But yeah, so Larry Wilcox, the blonde-haired guy,
mm-hmm.
Was a writing partner of mine. We used to write scripts together and stuff. And he knew my dad. He used to be a calf roper. My dad was a calf roper, and they knew each other. You wouldn't think that Larry Wilcox from Chips was a cowboy, but he was. Or I don't know if he still does. But anyway, we went out to the set. He brought me out there to Chips. I just got out of high school. I was just starting to work on Dukes of Hazzard, and I wanted to meet Paul Knuckles, who was the stunt coordinator on Chips. And so Larry Wilcox picked me up. We drove out there, and he had this briefcase, and he opened up this briefcase. I'm like, what's he doing? And we're driving in a motorhome out to the location, which was at Magic Mountain. And he opens up this briefcase, and there was a phone inside, and he had to get on this big phone, and call an operator, and the operator would put him through. And I'm like, oh my God,
what is that?
That's like what you see in the movies,
That's what Captain Kirk had on his wrist.
Yeah, but it was a big briefcase thing and had a big battery and just, anyway, it was really, I'm like, that with technology's crazy. Now
look at us.
Yeah, we have smartphones and
got cameras that are smaller than what the original cameras were back in the day.
Yeah. Gosh, they are, aren't they? It's crazy, the technology.
Yeah. Here's another picture.
Now, who do you think that is? The guy holding the bottle of water. Who do you think we're looking at?
I have no idea.
Alan Graff. That's his name. Alan Graff. He's a living legend in the stunt industry. He's done a lot of great movies. Been a stunt coordinator. Played on USC's.
Did you say Graff?
Graff, like Graff, I think Alan Graff. Yeah, there he is. Football, he was not UCLA, USC, I think it was. He's got the big ring because they won some big, huge. He'd be so irritated right now because he's like, Corey, you're screwing it all up. Anyway, great guy, wonderful stunt man, second unit director, stunt coordinator. His son, Derek, is now been working in a phenomenal career. Yeah, Alan Graff, what a great guy. You can see in the bottom there, I did a stunt stories with him, and he's all skinny now. He's a little thick right there. He's got his winter coat on.
He's gonna watch this and be like,
yeah,
really?
Thanks, Corey. Thanks for drawing attention to my belly.
See, I want to try to set like a scene up like that, like how it has the helmets and stuff, but
now,
then like have like your stuff, in the
yeah,
back. Or even like with us with this behind me, like I could have cool stuff behind us.
Yeah, I now where that location is a place called Fast House.
I remember you saying that's where your 3 stunts or your 3 awards are, right?
My Taurus World Stunt Awards are there. Yeah, they just is set dressing around the freaking place. Awesome place though. Yeah. Now there's Eddie Braun. Gosh, he and I go way back, man. We've done shows way back in the early 80s. It's just Fast House. You would love it if you walked through there.
That would be so cool to go to. And it's in California?
It's in Santa Clarita, California.
I have never been to California. Like I said, I wanted to go when I was growing up to skateboard and stuff like that, but then it started getting crazy. Well, crazier. Well, it's always been crazy, but
yeah, it's been weird. There's a bunch of knuckleheads out there in California. I could say that because that's where I was born and raised, amongst them all. Couldn't wait to get out of there and get to Texas.
One of the crazy guys. I think I got another picture.
Oh, now that was where the heck did we go? I got invited. Those are the producers to do a thing, and I did it for a friend of mine. I forget. Oh, for Gil Combs. And I showed up and I just told stunt stories in front of a live audience. Came out into this auditorium. And I was like, holy smokes, like 3 levels of stuff. And because I was doing these stunt stories live for the military bases.
Right.
And going and entertaining them for a little bit and showing clips and stuff. And that's when I learned they love to hear about your screw ups.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I did this stunt and I nailed it in first take. No.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, no. And so I'm like, because I remember my dad once said to me, he goes, well, you think you're going to run out of stunt stories? I go, I don't think so, because they seem to like the ones where you screw up. So I think I got an endless supply of stunt stories. But anyway, I went to this thing and they picked me up in a limousine and
oh wow,
and just treated me like then I was like, I'm all underdressed, and
you got your Converse on, not even tied.
Yeah, I'm just It was, I thought it was gonna be like a casual thing, and it got everyone's in suit and ties and. They paid like $50 a ticket to get in, and I'm like, this is how stunt guys dress.
You're like, I'm just a stunt guy.
Yeah.
I flipped here.
But I can't even remember what city that was. They flew me out of LAX, and I forget.
This right here, it says San Antonio Film Festival.
San Antonio Film Festival. So it was Texas.
Yeah, you're here in Texas.
Here, it was just right down the street.
You're my casa way.
Yeah, that was a great time.
I think that's all the pictures I got right now.
Oh.
That's a nice picture.
Nashville Motor Music Speedway. Now, in the crow's nest, I don't know if you're able to zoom in. You know what the crow's nest is, right? Right there. If you start to recognize this blonde-haired guy standing at the top of that, that's Al Wyatt Jr. Oh, it gets all pixelated, doesn't it?
Yeah. We don't have that CSI.
Yeah, we don't have that ability.
Enhance.
I can't.
What are you
talking about? Yeah, it was because there was another photo I have that was taken from behind Alan.
You can actually kind of see Alan.
Right there.
Right there, the black shirt and there's his blonde hair.
There he is. And I remember when we jumped, he told me later on, he goes, I was looking at you. We're at the same level as you went by, and you didn't even wave. And I'm like, Alan. It's like,
he's like, you forgot to honk the horn.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, did I tell you about that?
Yeah, they got mad because it, like, you jump and it'd be like,
a guy, this father brought his crying 5-year-old up to me. He was like, my son's crying? I go, no, what? He goes, you didn't honk the horn. I go, what? He goes, when you jumped the General Lee, you didn't honk the horn. Now my son's crying. And I had to explain to him. I said, the jumps, as you saw, so 2 seconds.
It's not what?
Yeah, and what is that horn called? What is that? The doot 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 doot. Is it the daisy? Is the there's a name for that. You think I should know?
Come on, dude, you were on the show.
Yeah, but we never had the horn.
That's true. Yeah, that was in a post and stuff. Huh?
Post production, they'd put in the name of the horn. What was it called? I see it.
Dixie horn.
The Dixie horn. The Dixie horn. Yeah. And sometimes they sound very slow. Sometimes they sound faster. You gonna play it? Yeah, you've already done 2 jumps by that time.
I've already landed.
Yeah.
Got out, got the actor in, and
Yeah.
drove off. We're okay.
And it's still going.
That's awesome.
This is fun when we get to see photos and stuff like this.
Yeah, I'm trying to. This was on episode 1.
Danny Winans.
When you were talking, when you go, what does the third person say on the caller ID? And then we were talking, and you go, and Mark Wahlberg, and we were like, whatever.
I just had a conversation with him the other day. We did a thing here for Taylor on that Landman, where he was supposed to flip over this semi truck. We land this airplane. Have you seen Landman?
Yeah.
Gosh, it's such a great freaking show.
So he was the one in the truck.
The
big truck.
The big truck coming over the hill.
Right.
I was in the white van in the airplane, and we were unloading the drugs or picking them up, doing something
You're unloading them from the plane.
that we weren't supposed to be doing. And
Get off my road.
and Danny came up over the hill in that truck, and then he went off the road, crashed through us, blew up. And that's something, until you're in that spot, and I'm not going to his defense. I'm just saying, calling it how it is. If you're going to drive through an airplane that's parked in the middle of the road in a van, and they're going to blow them up, there's going to be a second or two that you're not going to be able to see where you're going.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Dude, when they did that scene, I was like, there was so much going through my head. I was like, dude, first off, he's running through it, and then the explosion, and then he's got to kind of like go off and go in the ditch or whatever, because he was supposed to flip.
It was supposed to go on its side. Yeah,
Okay.
flip on its side.
They didn't, on the final cut, it just
went straight and kind of plowed.
I remember you were talking about that. You were saying something about you were telling them, no, you should do this if you want it to flip or whatever, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that, and it just went.
Well,
it kind of looked CGI, like whenever they went into the ditch and like all the stuff was coming up, it looked CGI.
Looked fake, huh?
The ground part, the big truck looked real.
Yeah. No, and it's funny too, because here's something that on that particular location with that particular vehicle had never been done. Nobody had ever attempted it. So when you go to do something like that, you go, well, that's kind of a rehearsal. You know, now he had a feel for it. If he could have had another shot at it with the experience that he has, I'd if I was a gambling man, I'd bet on him that he would have flipped it onto its side. But for some reason, Taylor was happy with it. And if Taylor Sheridan's happy, you just say, great, we're happy too. Let's move on and start shooting something else. But I know that feeling too. You know that you didn't do the best that you could have, and you don't get that second shot at it. And that part of being a stunt performer, that part really sucks. That makes the drive home really take a long time, and it's miserable. You're trying to find it?
I'm trying to find it. I think it's just.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's the right episode. I don't know, but
it's episode 1.
I tell you what, if you haven't seen Landman, you gotta.
We just finished it.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I cannot wait for season 2.
Isn't that the truth? Doggone. And that Billy Bob Thornton, what a great actor he is.
You gonna be on season 2?
Well, I don't know. I'm already dead on season 1.
How many times has a stuntman died in the show and come back?
Okay. Now, I got to tell you something. I may hold that record. There's a lot of guys, oh no, Corey, I got killed 3 times on a show. Okay, how about 7? I got killed 7 times as me on a TV series called Lethal Weapon. Starting with the pilot.
With Damon Wayans?
Yes.
Okay.
Starting with and Clayne Crawford. Starting with the pilot, Mick G was directing. I played myself, and I get killed in the pilot. Then it goes into series, and I got killed as an Elvis Presley, and playing me as an Elvis Presley impersonator. I got killed 7 times. It got to the point like when
in one season.
in one season. And then going into the, excuse me, maybe that's incorrect. Because then when they brought on the guy, oh, what's his name? The blonde haired guy. He was in the Dukes of Hazzard movie with
Owen Wilson. Or no, William Scott.
Yes. What a nice guy.
Is he?
Oh, God dang.
Cool.
Nice man. Fun to be around. Now he is the new guy on the show. And we do the opening of that season, and he kills me as me playing me. So it got to the point when I'd go into the makeup trailer, and they look at me like, wait a minute, whoa.
We've been on here before?
We've already killed you. How could you? Now, if you go to the pilot of Lethal Weapon, is that what you're on right there?
I'm on IMDb.
I'm gonna go out. He's gonna shoot me. Give up his position, and you shoot him. Just don't miss.
Yeah, I think that was the pilot. That was a cool cat. That dude, that guy there. Now, stop for a sec. Go back just a few frames. Do we see right there? Stop. What do you see right here? What do you see right behind me here?
Oh shit!
Yeah, that is the truck that's inside there.
Yeah,
that's that truck right there, jumping through.
That was for this, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh. Jumping through that window. It jumped in through the window, landed.
Don't worry, people. I'll put the picture up for y'all.
Yeah, you got to show them that. That was not me, by the way. I didn't jump that truck.
Oh, you didn't?
No. When I was doing my my stunt stories out there at Santa Clarita at Fast House,
mm-hmm.
We were looking for diversity, different colors and themes, and I saw this photo. And I went, oh, man, let's get that. And I had that blown up, just like I did my General Lee jump that somebody stole out there. And then my bus stunt, I don't know what.
Yeah, we'll find you.
Yeah, we'll find her. Bring back the big photo.
# bring back General Lee.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was just a cool looking shot, you know.
That is cool.
But yeah, that's the show. That's where it was.
I can't believe it took me so long.
Now, this man here, Damon Wayans, is that how do you say his last name's?
Wayans, yeah.
Wayans. I did a movie with him and Jim Carrey called Earth Girls Are Easy. Gina Davis is in it, Jeff Goldblum.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Earth Girls Are Easy. And I was the stunt coordinator, second unit director. And that man was not friendly. And I thought to myself, to the crew, to anybody, and I thought to myself, this Jim Carrey guy, he's never going to make it in this career, in this industry, because he's so freaking crazy. Look, how wrong could I be? And then I worked with Jim Carrey on Me, Myself, and Irene. And he looked at me, and I'm looking at him, and he's like, I know you from somewhere. I go, Earth Girls Are Easy. He goes, oh my God, Corey. And then there was another show we worked on. There was a TV show. I can't remember for Shauna Duggins. I can't remember the name of it. And we worked together again. But Damon was not happy on the Lethal Weapon show. And in his contract, when he came back for the second season, this may be inaccurate on the exact time, but he's like, I'm only working like 8 hours a day. That's it. Well, we'd be in the middle of a scene, and his assistant would walk right in on camera, like tap him on the shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, okay." He'd take off his lava mic and just leave. Like, how about 30 more seconds, and we got the shot? Nope, he'd leave. I thought, wow, man. You know, you got to. What about working together with your crew? There's Shauna Duggins. This girl is so freaking talented.
She's really pretty.
Oh, she's gorgeous, and her and her husband Brian McLight, they're like the two of the most. If you have a couple, husband and wife, in the stunt industry, they're like, there's very few that you have a husband and wife that are both so successful and have such great attitudes and respect for everybody. When I did the Cannon role on Lincoln Lawyer, she was the one who hired me. When I flipped over the bus on Fast 5 and I was going head on Fast 5, she was in the car that I was going head on with when I was going to swerve and miss her. And she was Wonder Woman. She's directing. She's now a first unit director, directing episodic television shows, and just freaking incredibly talented and nice. So it's like, it's possible. You could be talented, successful,
Nice. What?
and nice all at the same time.
That's like with the whole Damon Wayans, you know, he's like a comedian, a funny guy, and then it's like you tell that, and it's like,
Nope.
but then like Sean William Scott, a lot of people are like, oh, he's an asshole, and
Nope.
he's
Nice as
and
they
it's like cool.
Good morning to everybody. How you doing, man? Just make fun of himself.
I was gonna say, could you be like, what's up, Stifler? And he'd be like,
Yeah.
like ah,
No, he'd be like, who's that?
yeah,
Stifler.
that's the old me.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. He was a cool cat.
What other actors, like say, okay, in the past, let's say 4 years, what actors have you worked with who, you know, on screen they seem like such a nice person and stuff, but off screen they're an asshole? Like Jason Bateman. No, I'm just kidding.
Jason's such a nice guy.
If you're watching this, Jason, remember, like and subscribe.
Yeah, Jason. I made your career.
I made you look good in that one spot, you know.
Yeah, when he drove better than I did.
When you didn't see it, but you know.
God, what an ass. I can't. He knew it. He knew it. He's like, I'm just gonna humiliate Corey, and just drive and do bad. It was on bad words. Yeah, he was the star. He was the director. He was the stunt driver.
It's funny that he does that, and then on Horrible Bosses, when he gets arrested, and they're like, "You're speeding in a Prius," and he's like, "I drag race. I don't win a lot."
I don't.
It shows him. He's like,
Yeah. No, one of the nicest men ever. It's really funny. I could go down a list of people that I've worked with, and a lot of times you might work with certain people and never really get to interact with that actor. You know, like Sylvester Stallone. You know, I did Cobra, doubling him, and saw him every day on set. Got to know each other. I used to box with his brother Frank. But then,
can you do your Stallone? I heard your Stallone impression the other day.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Yeah. He, what a great, I mean, awesome man to work with. But then, like on Get Carter, I never even saw him on set. On Tango and Cash, I saw him one day. But I've got a photo of me, and a friend of mine, Scott Romine, did. He took all the actors and actresses and put them all around me. It says Stunt Stories. The truth has to be told.
Oh, I've seen that.
Have you seen that?
I've seen that watch. I actually just saw it the other day.
If you could pull that up, I could go through and so George Clooney, Vin Diesel, Tom Cruise, Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson. It's pretty. There it is. Yeah.
Let's see if I can get a clearer picture. Oh, it took me to your Facebook.
Is that what that is? Facebook. Do people still do the Facebook thing?
I guess we started H&D on there, and
okay, so like if we just start from the top left, who is that? Is that Demi Moore back there?
Looks like it. And then Pam.
I got fired off of a show because of Demi Moore that Emilio Estevez was directing called Wisdom, because we were talking in the parking lot. She came by and we just started talking, and I see Emilio walk by between the trailers, and then he backs up and does a double take looking at us. And then by later that afternoon, Bud Davis, who was the stunt coordinator, he's like, "Yeah, so do you want a window or an aisle seat?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, he does. Emilio doesn't want you on the show." And that was Emilio's stunt double. But because I was talking with his girlfriend, Demi Moore, I get fired. So anyway, so then Pam Anderson, who's next to Demi, I burnt my finger, got a 3rd-degree burn on a film that we did together called Barbed Wire. And then later on in 1999, I was first unit director of a TV series that she starred in called VIP. And I tried to make her feel guilty about my finger, and it didn't work. And then...
looks like Megan Fox.
Yep, Megan. I was her stunt double on...
You said that on H&D when you walked by in the skirt and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Megan.
Megan. She goes, "My God, do I look like that?" Like, well, these people thought I was you. And I said, no, I'm not Megan. She's over there. But yeah, I could go through Robert Downey Jr., there's Justin Bieber, Tom Cruise,
Michael Jackson, Robert De Niro, George Clooney, Vin Diesel, Will Smith.
You went, that was Jim Carrey in the background.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's
Jim Carrey.
Where he's in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Where he's leaning out the window.
Charlie Sheen right there below. I used to be his stunt double in a few films. John Travolta and I did a couple of movies together. The one we did, I I think was here when he's an angel. Got the big long wings. What was the show called?
Lucifer.
No.
No.
John
Travolta.
John Travolta, and he's an angel on Earth. Gosh darn, I can't think of what the name of it was. What a nice man, though. We did a fight scene together, and he had to flip me up over his shoulder. Bright Angel. Was it Bright Angel? Urban Cowboy. What a great freaking movie. Classic. Yeah, I think it was called Bright Angel. If you put in Bright Angel, that might be John Travolta, Bright Angel. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
No, Michael.
There
it is, right there. Michael. And that I think we shot here in Texas. But anyway, yeah, I had to do a thing where he flipped me over his back, and then we had a cable system that lifted me up, and then I fell to the floor and tweaked my back really bad. But such a nice man. He was great to work with. A lot of fun.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if he's a cool guy to work with. He seems like he's real chill.
Very.
Like seems like he's just like real laid back.
The experience that I had with him was only like for a couple of weeks on that film, but he was nothing but positive, good things to say about that man. And what a great career he's had too. Who else we got?
There's Brad Pitt.
We did Mr. and Mrs. Smith together.
Ben Stiller.
I doubled Ben Stiller on Starsky and Hutch, and then we did another movie together. You got behind Ben Stiller right there. That is Cameron Diaz.
Okay.
And I actually was her stunt double on Night and Day for one shot. I was teaching her how to do a slide of 180 in a GTO, and she's really good behind a wheel. She can stunt drive. But when we went out to the location, and it was this narrow road, and they put the camera right in the center of the road, and she had to go shooting this way. So she had to come in, the lens is shooting that way. She had to pass the camera and throw the 180. Had a wall of rocks on this side, a ditch on the other side. So even the road was like 30 feet wide when you put that camera there. It's very intimidating, And she started to throw her 180 a little too soon and almost got into the camera sticks, to hit the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera guys, everyone's like, we're done. Nope, we're not. And I'm like, because I worked with her the week prior in the parking lot at where the stages are in Boston, Massachusetts. And she was getting it. She was nailing it. I'm like, girl, you're good. You got this. But anyway, on the night at 3 a.m, she wasn't doing so well. And so Greg Smurs turns to me and says, Corey, let's go get the wig on. So I had to go. And I got a photo I'll have to bring and show you.
Yeah, so I can put it on here.
Her and I together back to back, with the wig on. And
she's pretty tall, isn't she?
Yeah, she's probably 5'10". And then just one more thing. We in that show in Night and Day, I'm driving this car, and one of the bad guys, and she's in the back. Well, I get shot and killed, and then she's got to climb over my shoulder to grab a hold of the steering wheel, and my leg is pushing down on the accelerator, and we're going, and she's trying to lift my foot off the accelerator to put it onto the brake pedal. And we would goof around and stuff and give each other a hard time. I'd make fun of her armpits. God, you ever shower? And then she'd breathe on me. I'm like, do you ever brush your teeth? So she'd bring little caramel candies. And when I would say something, she'd stuff a candy in my mouth. So I couldn't say anything. So then she's like, we're going to shoot an insert on you grabbing, and pushing down. And she goes, well, it has to be Corey. So I stayed on payroll for 3 weeks, and I didn't need to be in Boston, Massachusetts, so she could grab my leg and move it over to put it onto the brake pedal. It could have been anybody's. It could have been your leg. Didn't matter.
I'd let Cameron Diaz do that to me.
Yeah. Cameron, quit grabbing me.
Yeah, stop touching me.
I'm not yours.
Just because you were Charlie's angel doesn't mean you can be doing these bad things.
But just such a nice lady. So much fun.
That's so cool. Who else?
Oh, who else did we go on there?
Like Sean Penn.
Sean Penn and I worked together on a film that he was directing called Indian Runner. I think it was in Indiana. It was like 5 degrees.
Ooh. And
it was cold. And myself and Andy Armstrong had to drive these police cars down snow, ice, go in an intersection, and he wanted us to slide and make it. Well, as you know, you've driven on snow. You don't just pitch the car. And so we had to slow way down and make the turn. And Sean's like, no, come on, guys. You're stunt drivers, right? Come on, Corey, get in there. I go, well, it's a little slip. He goes, let me show you how to do. I go, please. Show me.
Go ahead.
He jumps in this car, takes off, pitches it, and slides right off the road into a ditch. And something go wrong. But anyway, yeah. So Sean Penn, are you recording now or no?
Yeah, we're
still
good. Yeah, we're good.
So yeah, Sean, he jumped in the car to show us how to do it, and slid and went and just off the road into the ditch, and we just saw this explosion of snow, and it all settled, and he was buried, and we had to go in and so
you walk up, you're like, so you got it?
Yeah. So you want us to do that?
Yeah.
What you just showed us?
I can do that for sure.
Yeah, that's what we were gonna try to avoid doing. So then, just this last, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months ago, I was working on a project with Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Penn called the BC project. We were up in Eureka, California, and then went to Sacramento, and I saw Sean, and not a very sociable guy.
Yeah.
We got along, I don't know, on that Indian Runner, maybe because he was the director and he wanted to have everybody on his team. And I remember he was dating Madonna at the time. And we had drove out in this van and she sat right next to me. And I didn't know who she was. She was just, because I didn't look at her. I just knew this little person was sitting next to me. And then when we got out, Madonna, I'm like, oh, that's right. They're dating. I don't know these things. I don't follow. It's like when we were on Mr. and Mrs. Smith and I saw Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt and they were all kissing and being all affectionate to each other. I'm like, oh, I didn't know they were dating. Nobody knew. Not at that point. Nobody knew.
It was pretty secretive, wasn't it?
Apparently, yeah, because
I think he was still with Jennifer Aniston at the time.
Yeah, that was the problem. That was the problem. And then if we just can real quick, at the top right, to the right there, Paul Walker, the coolest cat,
the legend,
the nicest man, talented, handsome, funny, intelligent, would give so much money to charities to help out people. Such a freaking loss. He would say life's too short, man. Don't let it bother. Life's too short. Well, I got a tattoo on my back that says life's too short because of him.
Really?
Yeah. Me and my son.
How many tattoos do you have?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, all under the shirt. Oh yeah, because you can't really have.
Yeah, it's hard when you show up and you're tatted on your arms where the cameras can see it, and then they got to bring. And the other thing that gets me, I just got to say this real quick. I know this is been a long show, but it's been fun for me on doing this, and I go on and on. But one thing, when you're a stuntman, you learn a lot. You learn about camera angles and what they're going to see and editing and et cetera, et cetera. Well, so often you go into a makeup trailer because they want to take a look at you. Okay, hey, Skylar, you're going to be an ND cop tonight. That means a nondescript cop. It's nighttime. You're going to be in the police car going down the street, hauling ass with the windows up, with your light bars on. You could be wearing a cowboy hat. You could be naked. You could have a scuba tank on your back. No one's going to know. Right. You can't see. But they'll still bring you into the makeup trailer and hair. And they want to see if do you have any tattoos? No. Okay. So what are you doing, Corey? I go, I'm in the police car driving down the street at 150 miles an hour. And just a blur. Okay, we might have to take your sideburns up just a little bit because that's not how policemen. And let me see, turn around for a sec. Let me see the back of your head. I go, the back of my seat is up over my head. It's a high back seat. And I got a collar up, and they're not going to, because they want to see the tattoo. It's on my lower, across my shoulders. And like, we might have to cover that up. I go, unless there's an insert shot of me being choked, I don't think they're going to see that tattoo that my shirt collar is buttoned up with my tie inside the vehicle with the high back seat going down the road at 175 miles per hour. It's so funny how I'm like, I don't know if it's job security. They just want to be busy cutting your hair or whatever, but so many times. Then the other side of the coin is there's times you go, I know there's a camera behind me inside my vehicle, and they're never going to. If they see that, they're going to know you're not the actor. I'm like, No. You really need to pay attention now. Know that they can't. They're featuring the back of my head.
Right.
You know, and sometimes it's just the opposite. You got to try to convince them. No, this is the time to be really, you know, fastidious. Be picky about what we're seeing. And other times, it's so funny. I could go on for hours about it. Just one time, real quick. I was in a car, fully caged, helmet on, 5-point harness, getting ready to do a turnover. Again, at night. And this costume designer came up to me, frantic. That's the wrong shirt. You got to put this shirt on. And he wears a tie. I go, do you think with the shirt and the tie that they're going to see my helmet? Or the roll cage that's around me? Or maybe the 5-point harness that I'm wearing? Do you think maybe they might see this stuff? Give me the tie.
Just put it around your helmet.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's
That's
so
awesome.
funny. Bless their hearts.
Well, you got anything that you can say that you're working on, or can you tell the people what's kind of like some I don't know the word, but like projects coming up
You know,
that you can talk about?
well, it's not that he can't even talk about it. It's I've always said in the stunt industry, employment is consistently inconsistent. A lot of guys say, I haven't been working for a while. Okay, I better plan a vacation. If you plan a vacation, you get a job. Inevitable. Yeah, I'm going to go to wherever for 3 weeks and go skiing. You know, yeah, you'll get a job during those 3 weeks. And so then the family goes and you can't go. So it's, and I don't know how a lot of other people could balance their lives, not just financially, but family. You know, I've missed more birthdays than I've attended. I've missed more anniversaries than I've should have. You know, than I've attended. Yeah, it's really. I mean, my freaking cell phone could go off, and next thing you know, I'm going to Dubai, or I'm going to Hong Kong, or I'm going to Austria, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm bragging, like, oh yeah, I get to be all over the world. I'd rather be home. I'd rather.
People look at it, they're like, oh, you get to go here, you get to go there, and it's like, yeah, but I'm by myself.
Yeah,
I don't have my wife, I don't have my kids, I don't.
Yeah,
you know,
the things that really matter to you.
Days, weeks, months out without seeing them and stuff, you know. So
I got on a roll on some of the Transformers movies, and even like on Night and Day when we went to we started out in Boston and then we went to Austria, and then after Austria I was in Germany, went someplace else, but it was gone. My baby girls, my twins are at home, and you know, and poor Sally, she was my wife. You know, she was stuck there taking care of the kids by herself, and yeah, you miss out on a lot. And then you know, my oldest is, you know, married and has her own family now, and my granddaughter, and you know, and grandson, and she now gets it too. It's like, yeah, because her husband's a stuntman,
right?
You know, Logan Holiday did the Fall Guy movie.
I remember I listened to the episode where you had him on.
Did I?
On Stunt Stories, yeah.
I had his dad. Did I do one with Logan? I did Steve Holiday, his father.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Did I?
Yeah, because you were like, yeah, I didn't know that the stunt guy that I'd be working with would be marrying my daughter one day, but you know, here we are, or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I've hit my head a few times. I can't remember the last thing I forgot.
I'm like that. I'm gonna be that producer that I have that memory of like an elephant where I can just remember every little thing.
That's perfect.
So, and I mean, like I said, I like talking. I like sitting here. I'll hear somebody tell me a story 6 times, and I'm still like,
yeah,
that's so cool.
Can't wait to get to that part.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah. And then you switch it up.
And you turn around, I'm like,
yeah,
even better.
And then that happened, and I was killed.
Wait, what?
Are you sure? Yeah. Dude, hey, listen, I want to just tell you that I'm so excited that you're producing Stunt Stories now. And what would be awesome too is maybe someday we could go do a Stunt Stories live.
I'm down.
For a charity event.
I'm down.
I'm show
totally
up
down for that.
For free, and we'll go out and put on a show, and just like I was doing with the military, you know, American Legion Post 43 in Hollywood, and a couple other Air Force bases that I went to, and just to go there and entertain for a little bit and let them have a peek behind the curtain at what we do. And they're like, what? Really? Yeah. You're like, it's really stupid. It's a stupid way to make a living, but here's what we do,
Yeah.
So that would be a lot of fun.
It would be. That would be cool. And especially when your crash clinic course comes, I would love to go out there and I mean, I've got a GoPro. I've got a drone too that I can actually set up and like just kind of circle, and it could just get footage above.
Yeah. We did one with Scott Romine. I think it was my second or third, and we were ratcheting the cars or tumbling, and he had a shot with his drone, and it outran his drone and crushed it. And the what do you call it? The little chip inside that had all the footage.
Oh, the SD card.
It was not good.
Oh,
So we couldn't get the shot.
oh.
But looking at it from the other camera, it's like, oh, that's going to be a great angle. Look how it just crushed the camera. Sorry, Scott.
Crushed everything.
Everything gone, toasted. But yeah, on January 25th and 26th, come on out. I'm hoping the weather's going to be good.
If you need help, let me know. I'll go out there and help you with. I mean, like I did construction for years. I know a lot of stuff, So if you ever need any help with anything, just let me know.
What it is you could hang out and you could watch, and there'd be times you're like, I'm going to step in and help with that, or you're still learning, you're still watching, and yeah, that'd be cool. Just have you out there and check it out, and
hey, I could be your stunt double dummy.
Yeah.
the crash dummy. I could be the
Yeah.
crash dummy. It's like, well, you see, first we're gonna put him in here. Skylar, get in the car.
yeah,
And we're gonna flip it like this.
yeah,
And then if he's good, and you just see me do that, and
Yeah.
it's like, then he just jumps out, and I get out, and I'm like,
yeah. Here's why you want to wear a helmet. Okay, we're gonna show. Here's what happens when you don't wear a helmet. Okay, so Skylar, could you go
yeah,
And
go get
we're
the
gonna-
car, please.
flip the car with you're not having a helmet on? We're gonna show them why you want to wear a helmet.
Okay. I skateboarded for 10 years. I hit the concrete a lot hard.
I bet.
Dirt.
Is that my phone barking? Yeah, it is. Doggone it. All right, that's a sign. I guess we should
Oh,
call it a night.
Corey, it's good seeing you, buddy.
Good to see you too, brother.
If I don't see you until next week, then I'll see you Friday.
Next week on Stunt Stories. That was fun.
That was.
Had a great
That
time.
was so cool that y'all won.
I know. And then Sally, she was all cocky at the house. She goes, I'm going to win tonight. I'm like, dreamer. She's first one. She won the first one.
That was crazy. That was funny. We're all just sitting there, and she's like,
And then I'm like, thank God I won, because if I didn't win, I'd have to have listened to her all the way home. How she won. Did I mention that I beat you?
I saw y'all's TikTok, how she was doing like the outfit of the night, and y'all showed up and stuff, and I commented, I was like, I didn't hear any thanks for the tip on when to buy the tickets.
Yes.
And then the part there was one where she shows like the end, and then she shows you, then it pans over to me, and I'm talking for a second. I go, dang, that long-haired guy's pretty handsome.
Yeah, that was a good time.
That was really fun. I'm glad y'all came out. But yeah, we might go tonight, but we'll for sure go next week.
Yeah, we'll go next week too. Let us know if it's Thursday or Friday or whatever.
Oh, wait, I think,
Whatever it
aren't
is.
you going to be out of town next week?
No, I leave on I think the 12th, 11th or 12th.
Okay. The 11th is Saturday. Okay, yeah, so we could go to the 10th.
Yeah, I think I'll be here on the 10th. Pretty darn sure.
New Year's.
Wow. I got to get a new calendar that has the 2-5 on it.
You're like, mine still says 1990.
Yeah. This is 1989.